right? It's blowing down, and it comes all the way through here up, and it curves down from here and out. And that's how the sound works. As you see here, my dad, can you blow again so that you can hear it properly? As you see, it goes through the blowing all the way through the pipe.
Hey folks, the Saxophone Oracle here. This week we're going to talk about my approach to learning to play over jazz standards. This is a question that a friend of mine asked me recently, and he specifically wanted to know how I went about it when I was first starting out. The kinds of things I practiced, the method I used, whatever it was. And I thought this was a really great question, because in this day and age, we have so many practice tools, we have apps, we can speed things up, slow things down. So how is it that people went about learning songs in the olden days, right? Before YouTube, before apps, before backing tracks, before the internet, right? Because there are dinosaurs like me who somehow managed to learn and retain all kinds of tunes without the help of apps and backing tracks. And personally, I think those of us who went about it this way, in many ways, are a lot better off for it. Step one. This should be a no-brainer, but step one is to listen to the song you're trying to learn, right? If you open up the real book and pick a song at random, sure, it's possible to learn it, but you're not doing yourself any kind of service like that. Start by listening and spend a lot of time listening. Don't just listen to it once or twice. Listen to multiple renditions of the song. Listen to it repeatedly to the point that you have it internalized, right? Can you sing along with the recording? Can you sing the song without the recording? Can you play the bass notes on the piano and then sing the melody of the tune over top? Something like this.
Somewhere there's music, how faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven, how high the moon. There is no moon above when love is far away too. Until it comes true that you love me as I love you. Somewhere there's music.
If you can do all that, then for all intents and purposes, you've learned that song, right? All that's left to do is to take care of the technical and theoretical aspects of executing that song on your instrument. And if you've done proper listening, you'll probably find that you don't even need an accompanying backing track, etc., because your ears or your brains will be able to fill in the harmonies for you. Step 2. Learn to play the melody and play it with the metronome on beats 2 and 4. And start by learning it and playing it as simply as possible. If you're able to learn it by ear, well, that's fantastic. But if you need the sheet music, that's fine, okay? But make sure you're memorizing it. And remember, because you've done all this listening, you already know the song. So there's no real need for the sheet music. It's simply there to guide you whenever you falter slightly. Step 3, begin experimenting with embellishing the melody and playing with the phrasing. I talk about this quite a bit in the video I did called How to Start Improvising If You've Never Done It Before. And this is an important step because often really good solos stem from the melody itself, but it's also an illogical approach to improvising, and it takes a lot of creativity to see how far you can stretch an existing melody. It also helps keep you grounded in the form of the song, and it reinforces the form, which is really helpful because all too often we get lost or lose our place when we're improvising. So step 3, embellish the melody. Step 4, learn the chords and try, if you can, to start thinking about them numerically and also get in the habit of doing a basic harmonic analysis. These two things are really going to be helpful as you begin to build your repertoire. So for example, if the chord is C major 7 and then F minor 7, B flat 7, going back to C major, try to think of it as 1 major 7, 4 minor 7, flat 7 dominant, going back to 1 major. This is going to be really valuable, again, as you're building your repertoire, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you to play these songs in different keys. The 5th step, now we're going to play the chords, okay? We're going to work on the arpeggios. So start by just holding long notes of the bass notes, then play up the arpeggios, play up and down the chords of the song. Remember to play down and up the chords. Work on voice leading, so play up the arpeggio and voice lead that 7th of the chord down to the 3rd of the next chord. And of course, do this all with the metronome. Step 6, learn to improvise bass lines over this song. I'm not going to do a demonstration because I have an entire video I made on the topic. It's called How to Play Bass Lines on the Saxophone. I encourage you to check it out. But step 6, improvise bass lines over the song you're trying to learn. Step 7, improvise. So this is where we start putting it all together. And if we've done steps 1 through 6 thoroughly enough, you should be able to start improvising with relative confidence. And at this point, you'll start working on inserting 2-5-1 licks or other patterns you've been working on. I think you'll find that you'll be able to get through the form without being lost, even if there's no backing track, right? If it's just you and the metronome, you should be able to get through it and keep your place. And I would also point it out, having done all this groundwork, that it probably won't be much of an issue playing the song at various tempos. Step 8, play along with recordings. Yes, play along with actual recordings. When I was growing up, just because I didn't have easy access to play-alongs to play with and backing tracks, it didn't stop me from playing with recordings, right? I would put on a Miles Davis record or a Bill Evans record, whatever it was, and I would play over top. I would play my solos over top of everything else that was going on. And it's a fantastic way to learn because for one thing, you get the semblance of playing with a killer rhythm section. You learn a lot about interaction. You pick up on the ideas of the masters. You know, if Miles or Train plays something, whoever you're playing along with, you're going to pick up on that. You pick up a lot of the nuances as well. And in fact, I would rather do this any day of the week than to play with the iReal book or Tom Play or an Aebersold recording. It's a lot of fun and you learn a lot by doing it. 8 steps. That was my approach to learning music while I was growing up, and it's basically still my approach. The thing is, the more you do this, obviously the quicker you get at it, but as you develop facility on your instrument, as your knowledge of theory grows, your ability to play different chords and arpeggios, voice lead, do bass lines, all this stuff applies everywhere. It's not exclusive to that one song. It's completely interchangeable. So doing a little groundwork like this starts to pay off exponentially as you start making all those mental connections. I'm the Saxophone Oracle. I hope you found this week's video interesting, helpful, all of that. Thank you so much for continuing to watch. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing, send a like, leave a comment. All that stuff helps it so other people can find my content on YouTube. I wish you a great week. Happy practicing. See you next Tuesday.
See you next time. Bye.